Today, what we will do is we'll discuss about the strategies which we have to follow in order to attempt the ethics paper, no, smartly and all. So, what are the strategies which we have to? Okay, now it's okay. I hope so, right? Um, 1 minute. I'm checking my computer also. Please give me some time. Fine. There and how we have to so what are the topics under each and every unit, right? So today we will see analyze the question, how the questions are posted and which pattern it is going on now and all. Yesterday itself I gave a clue that how many questions are appearing starting from 2017, 18, 19, 3 years this pattern was followed by UPSC, but okay. So what are the strategies which you have to follow in order to prepare this very easily? First one, if you see syllabus, as we discussed, that's why I started with syllabus. So you have to be thorough with each and every topics. Why I'm saying this is that not only for ethics, this is related to all the subjects. Yes, sorry, related to all the subjects, even especially if you take paper two, that is polity, okay, governance area, and your essay paper, ethics, right? And even social, society related parts, everything is connected with the current affairs. So you have to prepare for your current affairs starting from, okay, reading the newspapers, right? Okay, so if you see syllabus has 7 units, you have to be no audio. Is it okay? I don't know what disturbance today, a lot of disturbances. Yeah, it's audible. Fine. So you have to be known with all the topics, because when you're reading your newspapers, you have to give extra concentration to those topics which appears in your syllabus. That's why I said you have to be thorough with your syllabus. Another reason why you have to know your syllabus is that, see, one wrong your seniors are doing when they are attempting their questions. Not only this is not only concerned with ethics, it's a concern with all other subject. Uh, is first thing is that identification from which unit this question appears. If they are, knows only, they are ready to, let me annotate. Okay. See, if they are known only, they are known to apply the keywords. First of all, they need to identify the question. Sorry, today morning. Keywords. Okay. Lot of troubles starting the class today. Okay, fine, we'll pick it up, no problem. So what happens, see, when you are getting your question paper, you doesn't know from which question, which part the question appears, especially if you take ethics, because many of my students, when they were mm, coming and giving opinion to me after attempting the test and all, they say that the first thing which we face problem is that we don't know from which topic this question was raised. Okay, especially if you take the sixth question, you get, especially yesterday also one of your friends asked that, oh, there is a quotation they give in ethics paper and they asked to elaborate it, or are they asked to explain it, or they are asked to illustrate with examples and all. So where you find how many quotations you will read? Now, there are n number of quotations, even though we do smart work, as we are going to discuss now, because this is a strategy class. So I'll be discussing what are the strategies you have to follow in order to easily prepare your paper. I'm only discussing for ethics paper, rest you have to do. So so what happens that they give a quotation. So how many quotations you will read? You don't have that much knowledge. We are not a robot, right? We are humans. We cannot remember that much quotations in our mind. So what we have to do is that not only this applies for the quotation question, it also applies for all other questions. I already told ethics units are interlinked with each other, right? So for starting from 1 to 7, if you see there is interlinkage. And when you read a question, you also find that this question, particular question will be connected with the 2 to 3 topics of various units, or of a single unit, 2 to 3 topics are connected. So you have to touch all those topics. The keywords especially I already told you. So this is the one which gets marks for you in examination. So these keywords also should be mentioned. Yes, should be mentioned when you are writing the question. Then only you'll get. You see here, for that only I have given an example for you. A falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. This is a question which appeared in 2018, maybe in 6th A, B, C, or something. The optional questions it came. If you have the old question paper, yesterday itself we discussed. So if you have brought your old question paper, please take it out. So it will be easy for you to follow up. So this is a 2018 question. We see when they saw this question, voice is breaking. Is it okay? Is it okay? Actually, there is a connection problem also for me since morning. That's why a lot of tensions here, and we are disturbances. Fine, na? Okay, fine. Okay, good. So when we get disturbed, na, the class is not going smoothly. That's why. Fine. Only 15 minutes has got over. We'll get over. So what happens? See, this question when it appeared, many of the students doesn't understand what is it. First of all, it's a Tirukural only. I already told it's a ethical treatise. Yesterday also I gave this example. I hope so. When they read this question, they doesn't know what to answer. First of all, so okay, you are now new to this. Okay, and new to this ethics paper. When you see this question, what idea you get in the mind? What idea you get? So do you understand what they are coming to ask? But when you read your syllabus, okay, when you're reading from topic 1 to topic last, unit 1 to unit 7, no, when you are thorough with all the topics, headlines also, as well as the content, subject knowledge. Okay, that is why I said not only syllabus, you have to have knowledge about each and every topic. That I will do over the period when the classes starts regularly. We will do it. So once previously when I saw this question to my students, they are not able to even understand or even identify what this question comes to ask, or from which topic this question is shooted out, or no, what to answer for this question, right? But once when we have started the classes, they were very well known to recognize this question from which topic this appears. That is much important, students, because and that is the first step you are taking towards. That is the first step. If you're able to identify the question and you're able to identify what this question comes to ask, that is your success. Okay. Now I will explain for you. When I show a question, you will be able to recognize from which topic this question has been shooted out and which way you have to answer. Right. But the answer, I already told ethics is always subjective, but the answering method varies. Some may opt for option A, some may opt for option B. Right. See, now this falsehood takes the place of truth is just a quotation. It seems to be a quotation, but it's actually they have given it's a Tirukural only, there only. So what this comes to say, falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in unblemished common good. This is shorted out from the unit 1. So nobody will think in this manner. They think that this is teachings, that is contributions of moral thinkers and philosophers. It's unit 5. Most of all of us thinks like that. But this is this is ultimately connected with unit 1 also. I already told 2 or 3 topics will be connected. Okay. So contributions. What happened? I think I have to take whiteboard. Until that, we'll adjust because this document is very much essential in order to discuss our strategy. Okay. Okay. See, unit, Okay, unit 1, connected with unit 1. So what is that topic from which this is connected? Can you identify at least now? This is connected with the dimensions of ethics. You see, there is a topic already we discussed yesterday. We discussed each and every topic in the syllabus, how we have to handle the topic. We discussed yesterday. Of ethics. Okay. Now, what is this topic? Especially dimension of ethics has many variants. So which one it is connected with? As already I told you that descriptive was there, prescriptive was there. This was connected with prescriptive ethics, and especially from prescriptive ethics, this is connected with teleological ethics. Yesterday we said, no, there are three types of categorization of ethics given by even the moral thinkers or moral philosophers or leaders, whoever who is speaking about ethics. What are the value systems they are going to give? We are going to categorize this into three. I already told you, na? So teleological, deontological, this is very much important. So this question is connected with teleological ethics because teleological ethics says that whatever means you opt, that doesn't matter if it is going to result in the goodness of the people. That is, if it results, end is right, end is good, then that is enough. So it says if it's going to do good for many people, whatever means you choose, it doesn't matter. So that's why this Tirukural is also saying the same thing. This is the first step you have to do when you are going to attempt your ethics paper. Not only ethics paper, this is also concerned with all other. Same mistake. Paper 2 of your mains paper, even optional paper, that's why I already told public administration optional also, this happened. They are not able to identify the question, then they are not able to analyze the question, they are not able to recognize which topic this question was suited out and what they have to answer for that particular question. That's where they lag. That's why everyone stands out. Okay, so this is the difference between one who prepare in the right path and one who prepare in the wrong path. So it doesn't matter that how much effort you're going to put. Children, you have to hear this very nicely. It doesn't matter how much effort you're going to put. That's why some of you seniors say that I studied only 6 hours a day, but I'm able to crack and I'm able to score top also. So you may wonder that this person is speaking for lies. This person is not right. He's saying something, he's misguiding and all. But truth is that he has followed the right path. Same way, if you are following the right path, you doesn't require much time in order to prepare for your UPSC. UPSC is just a part. It's like a competitive exam. So why we have to spend that much time? Attend a class, and another 3 hours you are going to revise, and another 1 hour you are going to spend in the newspaper, and maximum 8 hours is more sufficient for you in order to prepare for your UPSC examination. And when you are going to thorough your mains syllabus, then you can automatically be thorough with your prelims syllabus also. So even in paper 2 of your mains paper, same mistake has been created. That's why very low, people score very less, even below 100. So see, what is the probability you are going to get in the mains examination if you are doing very poor performance in paper 2 and paper 4? Because paper 1, everybody, I already told you, everybody is doing their best in paper 1. It's basic subjects like history, geography. There is nothing going to get connected with current, especially geography areas they do ask. But if you're taking again paper 3, it's economy, everybody is going to perform in the same level. Okay. But what happened to paper 2 and paper 4? It's here you have to show your edge over the others. When you are having a proper guidance, you can do it properly. So first thing is identification of your question. That is why I already told syllabus along with subject knowledge is very much essential in order to identify the question. Okay. Now, see, I'll give an example also. So first example I said like this, if a country, so first one, if you see this, I already told one of your friend has asked yesterday, quotation, how they are saying, giving a quotation and asking to elaborate, examine and all. You need not elaborate the quotation. You have to understand what the quotation is saying. And with the help of that quotation, you should not deviate also. With the help of the quotation, you are going to give your answer based on teleological ethics. What they asked is about teleological ethics. That is, if something is going to end in good, then whatever means you follow, it doesn't matter. Even if you take, you say false, if you say lies, it doesn't matter if it is going to save someone's life. That is what that Kural is saying. Second thing, if a country is to be corruption, see another example. If a country is to be corruption free, this is also quotation, which was asked in 2017. corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel there are three key societal members who can make a difference. They are father, mother, and teacher. So this was given, and it is a beautiful quotation given by Dr. Abdul Kalam. So they asked to analyze the quotation. So if you see this quotation, then you say the one blank thing which appears in your mind, this sixth question is automatically nothing but contributions of moral thinkers, human values, lessons learned by lessons given by lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers. Abdul Kalam, Mr. Abdul Kalam is a leader. So you automatically what comes in your mind is the human values and lessons, no teachings given by great leader and all in your mind. Yeah, you're right. You are identifying first part. Right now, second thing is what another topic which is connected with this particular question. What is the other topic? Other topic is nothing but the next one. The role of family, society, educational institutions in inculcating value systems. So first topic is that, lessons, human values, lessons learned from life and teachings of great leaders, reformers and reformers, Second one is that role of family, society, educational institutions in inculcating those value systems. This too has to be connected in order to answer this question. If you have done that perfectly, then you will be the maximum scorer of this question. That is why the quotation is also saying, if you can easily understand. So you have to first identify which are the topics connected with this, and then you have to frame answer in your mind. That is frameworking. Already all teachers might have said mind map. That is that flow chart has to be formed in your mind, and then you have to answer the question. Then then you will be possibly answering the right answer. Okay. And again, if you see what is meant by environmental ethics, this already now. By now, all of you, because first previously when we are saying about environmental ethics, the students doesn't know from which where this area this question has appeared. No, so if a teacher is properly teaching, definitely what they would have done is that this is because this appeared in 2015. I hope so. This question came in 2015. I remember. When I was started teaching in 2013 only, I asked the students to study the applied ethics part. I think this annotation is not working properly. The applied ethics part very properly. Why this is not working? Okay. Applied ethics. In the applied ethics, I already told there are several, divisions like. So this probably fall into environmental ethics. So this, when we were particularly, analyzing all those topics properly, then we will understand. We have to understand even the subdivisions, subcategories inside the topic. So that we will do in the classes. So this was very easy question. So once when you identify this is from the dimensions of ethics, and especially from applied ethics, and from applied ethics, this talks about the environmental ethics. So the students would have performed very nicely about this question. And if you have seen, mostly the questions are coming from the dimensions of ethics part, especially I told the applied ethics part and the prescribed ethics part are very important. So these two plays a major role when questions or case studies are appearing. Now, if you see next strategy which we can follow in order to answer the question, in order to prepare easily for your ethics paper is whole UPSC question papers. That's why I told you have to carry your whole question paper as well as your syllabus with you, unless until you memorize your syllabus, unless until you memorize. So don't take it wrongly that no, madam is asking to memorize the syllabus and all. It's for your own good, because this helps you in order to read the newspaper. Also, this helps you to understand the pattern of the UPSC exams, which way the UPSC is going. Most of the students, what they do wrong is that when even in the preliminary paper preparation, I don't know how many of you have given your prelims. Do any of you have attempted prelims this year? I hope the students are hearing me, right? Have you attempted the questions for prelims? No. Very good, very good. So if you have done it, you would have seen. Yeah, good. Okay, fine. No, none. None of you have done it. Okay, fine, good. So yes, okay, one person has done it. So I hope how you felt about the question paper once you got a question paper, once you are sitting in the examination hall, what did you feel? How did you prepare for your prelims? That was my question to you. Okay, Namisha, please, she has also attempted. So for you people, I'm asking a question. How did you feel after getting the new question paper once you're sitting in the examination hall? And what did you do after completed the exam? What was the first step you have done after completing the exam paper? May either paper one or paper two. Can you please answer? Be frank and be genuine. Huh? What did you do after getting the question paper? Don't tell me that I prayed to God. No, that's jokes apart. So first, I want to know what you felt once you got the question paper. Okay, once you completed, you recheck the answers from. Very nice. So after doing that, what did you do? Rechecking everything over. Exam, you just keep. Okay, good. Namisha said that she was satisfied with the paper one, and the paper two she felt it was very lengthy and all. Actually, children's what you have to do is that after getting your paper one, you have to do stress management. Okay, any paper, not only preliminary paper, even mains paper. Just take the paper in hand. Tell to yourself that you're going to perform very well, you're normal, you're cool, nothing is there in your hands. Okay, you're going to give your best. That's the first word you have to say to your question paper. Okay, your question paper is your friend and he will definitely help you. And once when you're reading the question one by one, you have to do first 5 minutes, don't try to attempt any questions. That's the first guidance we give to the students. What you have to do is that's why even your school teachers, when you're studying in school, I don't know about the college, but the school teachers are very much concerned about us. So what they do is that whenever you take the question paper, try to read the question starting from number one to the last question. They used to say, why? This is one thing is that you're going to keep yourselves very cool. Because when you start to write the question, you just start to think. When you're starting to think, the first question when you attempt, you start to think. Then when the time goes by, you becomes very nervous and hurry-burry. But when you're trying to read the question, but in preliminary, you cannot do it. Starting from first to last question, at least you can give a glance. Page by page, you can give a glance. So whether the words are known. And second thing is that you should not become very nervous at all. Whatever it happens, even a single word you doesn't know in the question paper, don't become nervous. There are two people who are not nervous at all. You see, one who does not study, one who studied everything. And okay, sometimes the second one also fails because even though he have studied everything, he doesn't know how, when he goes and sit in the examination hall, everything becomes blank for him. I already told this is because of fear. Fear management should be there with you. Okay, so what happens once when you have done your examination, what you have to do? So first one thing is, I already told, when you get the news question paper in the hand, first you have to be control your stress, control your emotions, everything, keep yourself cool. Then you will be able to attempt, even though you have not studied for that paper. Everything is there in your mind, everything is there in your brain, everything is there in your subconscious brain. It automatically pops out and helps you. This is the first strategy you have to follow. Second thing is that once you have done your paper, okay, everything is over. Now nothing is going to change. You are done your paper. Now what you have to do, you have to, especially for those who have attempted, I don't know whether you have done this. Next time, if you are going to, the students when we are going to appear, next time if you are going to do it, and then you have to definitely do this. Once you have done your paper, then at the back of the question paper, just write what are the things you felt. What are the things you felt when you are doing your examination? Like you would have read the, so after seeing the question, you might have thought that I would have given much more, some more importance for the basic area, for the current affairs related things. This things comes to mind. It pops out when you're writing an examination. Oh, I forgot this. I don't remember it. Whatever things which comes in your mind, you'll not forget once the exam get over. So you have to write it that back of the question paper. These are the things I have to, never, I should not repeat all these things. I should have attempted some more, question, sorry, what, model questions I can. So these things, opinions comes in your mind, just try to write those opinions. It helps you. Okay, now we'll come to the subject. So old UPSC questions, what you're going to do with this? One thing is that you're trying to understand the pattern. So not only for the mains examination, for prelims also, old UPSC questions helps you a lot. Second thing is that some questions are again and again repeated for you. Okay, but in this different format they may get repeated, but the answers are same. Sometimes the same question appears, same, without even changing the question manner. So the same question as such it appears in your examination. So especially in your preliminary paper, that is why they are asking you to solve your old question paper. Even your seniors who are cleared, when you are giving speeches and guidance for you, they will definitely say that old question paper, you try to solve it. If you see here in ethics also, I can give examples for that. In 2015, a question appeared, a 10-mark question. So they asked to differentiate between law and ethics. In the same year also, same question paper, same law and ethics differentiation. They asked another question, but in a different only the manner varied. That is the way the question was presented varied, but the answers are same more or less. See, so if you have done this very well, you would have done this. You can also lift this and put here. Differentiate between law and ethics. The second question can be lifted. A mere compliance with law is not enough. The public servant also have to have well-developed sensibility to ethical issues for effective discharge of duty. Do you agree? An act is ethically right, but not legally. An act is legally right, but not ethically. 2.5 mark. If you take this, lift this two sentence and put it there, you would have to gain 2.5 marks. Just a small explanation. That's it. You would have carried. Sorry, you would have got maximum marks for that question. Same way, same answer for this, but you have to do it elaborately. That's it. Okay, 10-mark question. See, same question paper, the one pattern of question is repeated in different form. Okay, they have given answer for that first question in the second question. And if you come again in 2016, one question was asked. 2015, this law and ethics topic appeared, and they asked a question like this. Again in 2016, if you see, they asked a question like, law and ethics are considered to be the two tools for controlling human conduct so as to make it conducive to civilized social existence. Discuss how they achieve this objective. Giving examples show how the two differ in their approaches. Same. See, previously only they asked differentiate between law and ethics. Now here again they ask show how two differ in their approaches. The thing is that both are more or less same, more or less similar. Law is also going to regulate human behavior. Ethics is also going to regulate human behavior. Normal structure, ethics is doing it with the help of our own conscience. When our conscience pricks, we feel that we are morally wrong. If we are not, no, our conscience does not prick us. That is, it does says that you have done right only, then we feel that we are not doing any wrong at all. Even though we do wrong, it doesn't matter at all. We feel like that. And here, there is major differences for law. If you are violating a law, you get punishment. But for violating ethics, you don't get punishment. Only here, I already told you, your innocence hurts you a lot. Okay, I have done something wrong. I have done something. I should not have done it. This is how we feel. So even when we are seeing someone begging in the streets, when we are reading a lot of newspapers, we feel that these people are not working. Okay, they are just spending their manpower in this wasted manner. They're wasting their manpower and just go and beg in the streets. And we should not encourage it. And our mind says that we should not encourage these types of people. But our heart says, oh my God, if I see that young child who's walking in the street, I'm going to school, I'm going to college, I'm going to a competitive examination center, and I'm studying. But what happened to this child? He's uneducated. She's wearing ragged clothes. She's not having her food. And when you the moment you see her, what happens? Your mind also says that you should not help this type. You should not encourage these types of activity. Then you bypass the child and have to go. Your heart starts aching. What I have done? What is the matter of 5 rupee or 10 rupee? I would have donated. Why I have done this? And no, you are not satisfied at all. Even though you are convincing yourself that yes, I have done right. I have not helped. I am not going to encourage this type of activity. If I am giving money, next time again the child will beg. Next time again the child will beg. The people who are behind this will make the child to beg. So I'm not going to encourage it. And even after you have it's saying, no, what is this, huh? Why you have done this? Your heart is speaking to you. You have seen the child and you're not able to on 5 or 10 rupees. What is the problem with you? Like this, there is some contradictions which is appearing, right? So this and all, because of your conscience. Your conscience starts working and is saying that even though your rules are your mind is framing the rules, but your heart is following your conscience. So your heart is saying that your mind is wrong many times and you should not have done this and all. So this is how the difference, which we will discuss elaborately once when we get into the subject. And if you see, same another examples. This PPT, yeah, this I'll give you because this is strategy question. It's Namisha, and this just old question only. Yesterday it's a syllabus, that's why I did not share for you. But once we start to discuss our topics, then I will definitely share PPT and all. And one more thing, dear student, if any of you are taking notes, please share with your classmates, because I hope they are not able to cope up with the speed sometimes. So if you people are very efficient in taking running notes, please try to share and help your teammates. And as all of you know, your sir might have also told about that Hell Heaven story and all. So I will also tell a story today for you. Right now, integrity without knowledge. Where to share? I hope you can share online only. Na? You have a group, right? Do you have a group? Then you can just post it in the group. Let all of them share, see it. If you have a group, please do it. Huh? A Telegram group, okay, very well. You can do that. You can post your PPTs or anything, whichever running notes which you take when we are discussing in the classes. It's better you share with your classmates. Okay, it will be a great help for them, and they will never forget you. That's one thing. Integrity without knowledge is weak and useless, but knowledge without integrity is dangerous and dreadful. This was a question which appeared in 2014. So at that time, only the people to know that there is a relating to competency as well as the integrity. Even though you are very skillful, but you are not truthful. Okay, this is the first point they keep. Even in civil service, what they say is that you all people are IQ wise higher. That's why they are checking through two exams and all. Your IQ level is checked. But how you are going to check a person's EQ level or personality level? How you are going to check? What is the test which is there to check? Okay, you may say interview is there. So in 45 minutes, how are you going to analyze a person? Huh? Yeah, please, somebody is asking link and all. You join them in Telegram, and then please keep in touch with your classmates. Okay. So see what happens. So how you are going to measure how you are going to measure all these things except the IQ level? How you are going to measure the emotional intelligence or emotional quotient of the officers who are in postings? Most of the time, what happens, the person who are very intelligent people, who are very efficient, whose aptitude level is higher, does not have good integrity. What is integrity? Innocence of wholeness, truthfulness. See, if I am saying, I never say lie in my life. I say like this, okay, if I say to anyone or to you people, I'm saying, see, I am here. I swear that I never said lie in my life, and you people believe it because you only see me, my face, which is there appearing in the screen or appearing in front of you. You just know me, okay? Then you believe it. Okay, ma'am is saying that she had never said lie in her life, and that is truth only. Okay, we believe it. But I only know that whether I am saying right or wrong because I may have two faces inside me. Okay, I may have two faces. So that's what they say. Whether you're going to show your true face or whether you're just living for others' sake, that is called integrity, innocence of wholeness. Whatever you say outside should be true inside also. The truth only you have to speak outside. There are also some. I have all bad habits in my life. We have to appreciate these people. At least they are ready to accept it outside. They are not hiding from others. So that is what called as integrity. So they said, even though you have high level of IQ and integrity is very poor, then definitely you are very dangerous person. You are very dreadful person. and all. And this question, this is a graph question. You have to draw a graph and then have to display 4 types of characters. This we have done in class also. So in our notes, 2013 starting, we do have done this. So appeared directly this question. If you see again in 2018 question paper, this question appeared again. If you would have worked out your old question paper, or if you have taken a proper guidance from proper teacher, you would have definitely attempted 2018 question also. The 10 mark you would have secured maximum marks. In looking for people to hire, you look for 3 qualities: integrity, intelligence, and energy. Only something is small difference is that energy is added. What is there? Nothing more has been done here. And if they do not, I already told the pattern may change, but the same answer only. And if they do not have the first, that is, if integrity is not there, other two will kill you. This was said by Warren Buffett. So, and what do you understand by this statement in the present day scenario? Explain. So I already told in the present day scenario, illustrate. So examine with the examples, explain like this only. So that's why you have to read the question, newspapers. Current affairs should be there in your hand. So that will help you a lot. In attempting all other questions also, you have to give lively examples. You have to say, okay, this happened. In this particular district, this type of incident took place and all. In the particular firm, in the company fell down because of horse trading. Horse trading is also because the integrity is not with the person. He's not truthful. According to corporation law, when you're entering into a company, you're promising a company that you're not going to do anything against the company's growth. But horse trading is against the company's growth. If you're doing it, then the company would have definitely will see its fall. And you as an employee as went against the company, and you're not truthful, you're not integrity, you are not a person of integrity. No, sometimes you might also see some people, even in our own family, they would have definitely say, even if you give 100 of crores of money to me, I will never ever do this work. I will never ever go against my own company, because this company is the one which helped me when I was there in a needful situation. Now, I don't want to, I'm not jealous. I don't want that 100 crore. I don't want to corrupt myself. So there are people like that also. Okay. So that is why they say integrity. So this question comes like that, and repetitive question. That is why I already told whole question paper helps you in 2 ways. One thing is that to identify the pattern, which way the UPSC question appears in your examination. In that way, you can make yourself ready. Second thing, helps you 20% of the questions. Most of all gets repeated. Especially preliminary paper also, all question papers are very important. Similarly, mains, all the other subjects also, not only ethics, other subjects also. This whole question papers plays a major role, okay? Then you come current updates. Why current updates is very much essential. Already I told many examples, like illustration comes, explain with the examples they say. So in that, then and there you have to give examples for your, no, you have to substantiate your answers with your examples. But if you come, again, some questions appear directly from current affairs. Like if you say constitutional morality, this term, how does one uphold constitutional morality? When this term appeared in question paper in 2019, everybody was wondering where this term came out. How it's very new, doesn't know and all. But if you have read your newspaper in 2015, starting from 2015, Justice Yakub, he is a constitutional judge of South Africa. So when he was mentioning about Miss Kalpana Kannabran, she is a she is an Indian. First of all, she is an Indian. She wrote a book, and in that book, she started. It's a time we have to move from, societal morality to constitutional morality to constitutional morality. This was discussed by her in her book. Even I can mention that societal morality. So, see. I have to take whiteboard after completing this. Otherwise, it's very hard for me to annotate using this societal morality. Zoom is very nice to write. The WebEx is very hard and it's troubling me a lot. societal morality. We have to move from societal morality to constitutional morality. So this was, how does you uphold the constitutional morality also? This was question. Actually, this was the topic which she wrote inside her book, Kalpana Kannabiran's book. I don't remember the book name. I'll definitely tell you. So she has mentioned this word. It's time we have to move from societal morality, constitutional morality. And this particular term was picked up by Mr. Yaqub when he was just reviewing a book written by Kalpana Kannabiran. He told that as Miss Kalpana is saying that it's time we have to move from the societal morality towards the constitutional morality. Then this then and there in the newspaper, nobody have noticed it. Then if you are seeing in 2018, a lot of judgments was delivered by Supreme Court regarding that what we say, LGBTQ community, Sabarimala issue. So all those issues, when the judgment was delivered by the Supreme Court, they touched up this word called as constitutional morality, because in societal morality, what they say about LGBT community and all, the society is not ready to accept. One is going against the nature. This was a common belief which we do have. And they are not ready to accept these types of people. And they are not ready to even see this people as humans at all. But then, according to Constitution, what we said, there is no differentiation among people. We should not differentiate people based on race, color, creed, sex, and all. So, where we are, whether we are in the societal morality or whether we are in the constitutional morality, that is why they said at least we have to move from. We cannot advance ourselves automatically. At least we have to follow the constitutional morality. You be truthful to the constitution, move away from the societal morality. This is how Supreme Court also mentioned about the word constitutional morality in their judgment. And even in the Sabarimala issue also, women were not allowed inside Sabarimala. So when they're saying that women are equal with men, Constitution is saying, why you society are ready to, no, why you society are again differentiating men and women, you're ready to accept, you're not giving equality position, you're not ready to accept women equally with men. So why? Where are you standing? Why you have to still follow the society norms and all? Come back. You leave the society. You leave the societal norms. Come towards some constitutional morality. At least deliver morality for the people based on constitutions. Treat them equally. So this is how Supreme Court told and delivered the judgment. Then this constitutional morality also appeared in our examination. So current, if you're reading the newspaper, definitely you would have come across this word, and definitely you should have picked up. I already advise my students all these things. When you're reading a newspaper, new terms, just pick it up. Write it. If you don't understand, then you ask me. Okay, then I would definitely clear the doubt for you. So this is how you have to prepare. When you're preparing a newspaper, for ethics especially, and even if you're a psychology student, you have to do it. Okay, then there is a view. So this question also appeared in 2019. I already told yesterday also we discussed about the Secrets Act. Official Secret Act is an obstacle to the implementation of the Right to Information Act. Do you agree with the view discussed and all? So this this possibly appeared as a big in the editorial page. 2 to 3 days this message. Sorry, this was this appeared in the editorial page. 2 to 3 days this was discussed, this news was discussed about how Official Secret Act is acting, whether it is acting as an obstacle to right to RTA, or whether it's not acting as an obstacle and all. This was a big essay. Actually, we will discuss in class also. When we are studying about RTA, we'll discuss elaborately about it. Definitely, it is not going to affect the RTA because there above everything. Official Secret Act, this, that, and all. RTA is above everything. So this is how they concluded when they were discussing about this particular topic. And this appeared in the editorial page as well as a news also. In the news content also it appeared. In the editorial also this news appeared as a big essay they were discussing. For 2 to 3 days this continued. And this appeared as question also in 2019 only in current affairs. From current affairs they lifted and then asked a question. Same way, even Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, when this was going on, there was a topic called the social influence and persuasion for us. In attitude unit, you might see, if you have a syllabus, you can see there. Social influence and persuasion is a topic. When we are discussing the unit 2, but especially this topic, I would give various examples for my students. Even in case studies, I ask them to write, ask them to touch all these things, because I already told you as an IAS officer, when you're going to manage certain social issues, especially society-oriented issues, you should not go and use your force there. You have to use persuasion only, because the common people, first of all, he is not able to understand what is the problem. Second thing, even though if he understood the problem, he is very fearful to take some decision, because he fears a lot. Already he is in the vulnerable zone. He doesn't know, especially the farmers. If you take, they're not ready to accept if you are giving some new solutions, because they're very fearful. They doesn't know whether it is going to be successful or not. That is why many farmers suicide is also happening. Even though you convince them, they're not ready to accept it. They say only for namesake. There are a lot of people, they come and talk, but nothing is going to be fruitful. So automatically my family is going to suffer. I have to answer the person who lended money. Okay, money lenders. If he comes, I have to face, and because of that, in humiliation, he dies. Okay, all this and all is a social issue. So when you're handling a social issue, same way, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, open defecation is also a social issue only. It's not only the way people behave, it's also in the mentality of the people that, and second thing is economically also. So first, what the people thinks is that the toilet should not be kept in house. It there with the people, then we can do. If you take the traditional mindset of the people, what they tell, even the one who educated family, they are educated, they are well educated. What they do is that, if you have noticed, the house will be separate. Then they give a big lawn in between the house and the very big garden, and acre. In acres, there will be a land, open land. Then they will keep one restroom, toilet separately. We asked what is the reason why you have done this, then they say, if if you have attached bathroom toilet, then what happens? The prosperity of the house gets affected. Second thing, you get unhealthy. All those things they will tell. All the reasons they will give. And women are, again, in this type of houses, the women again are very fearful in night time to go outside, because it's very open space. Anyone can climb and come inside. They are very fearful to go on. No, when the nature calls, they are very fearful to go to the restroom, toilet, and all. This happens. Even now, there are some houses having this type of rule and law. They do follow. Not only the one who go and defecate in the open. So they don't have toilet at all. There's one, not only the mentality of the people. Second thing is that because of the economical condition also. Right. We can convince these types of people in order to success Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and all. So this is how, for that, why this is connected to current affairs, because again, in newspapers, this appeared as newses. This appeared that this group of volunteers went and they do whistle blowing when someone is doing open defecation, and they sang some song like this, because social influence again comes there, not persuasion. Social influence. Again, there are some group of volunteers of some NGOs. They go door to door canvassing about convincing the people about, you should not persuading them that how you have to treat women. The women are suffering because they don't have toilets in the home. Because of that, the women are suffering. So how you have to encourage this activity, how they encourage the activity. Everything was covered as an story, as a story inside the newspaper only. Okay, so that also came in the newspaper that year. So again, that's why I told current updates are very much important. Now come to the next session. So what is the last thing which you can do in order to what is the last thing which you can do in order to that is year-wise classification, as your sir might also have told you. Year-wise classification. How many of you know this? Please let me know, then we will read about this in ethics paper also. So you all know this, na? You all know about the year-wise classification. Yes, good. And sir also said how the pattern of the year-wise classification also keeps on changing. Some might have already told you. Previously, it was like 50, 100, 150, 200. Now even 5, 10, 15 was asked in the examination. Okay. You see, in ethics also this appear. I have given only few examples, but each and every year almost 30% of the question. Think that already theory part is only 50%, and each and every year in that 50%, almost not from 15 or 30%. Yeah, very good, Pavitra. Almost in the 100% of your question paper, almost 30% of question appears from. For example, I'm giving you in 2019, there was a quotation: "A man is but a product of his thoughts. What he thinks he becomes." This was said by Mr. Gandhi. So why Gandhi? There are n number of leaders, n number of reformers are there. Why they picked up a quote and then they mentioned about Gandhiji in 2019? Because everybody know that in 1869 he was born, and 150th year of birth anniversary in 2019. So about Mr. Gandhiji's, this, yes, very good, Pujita, this 150th anniversary. So I also told my students that you have to take care of Mr. Gandhiji. So when you are preparing about him, he already there is a topic for us in our syllabus. You all know that, right? Contributions of moral thinkers. So we already discussed about him elaborately. So all these things has come about what Gandhiji told us. What are the principles he has given to the us people? Everything has come. Everything we have studied elaborately. So we just have to apply that. That's it. And when you are reading about Gandhiji, then the most important quotes which he has given, also you will read it. And once you are done it, then it's not a new at all for you. This also appeared in the yes. No, factual questions does not come. It's only opinion. But first you have to understand the meaning, na. That's why we are using these things. Okay. If already you are no carrying, you are going empty hand, and you are already carrying some 30% of paper with you. So there is a difference, na. If you are going empty hand, you doesn't know anything, you're just going sit inside, then you're going to face everything. That is totally different from already you know 50% of the questions, and you're going inside, walking inside with the half known. That is totally different. So that's why we are saying for year-wise classification, but factually it does not going to apply. Just for your own satisfaction, you are already ready about Gandhiji, you know everything about Gandhi. So you just go and write it. That's it. You already have flowchart in your mind. You're just going to apply there. So this is your opinion. That's it. Where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. See, another question also. This was given by Dr. Abdul Kalam. But when this quotation appeared, most of the people doesn't know what this quotation is coming to say. Where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. When there is beauty in the character and all, home. When there is home, harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. There is order in the nation. There is peace in the world. Why this Dr. Abdul Kalam? Again, why about Dr. Abdul Kalam? Because in 2015, he died. And this was 50th year, his death anniversary. So again, in order to remember Dr. Abdul Kalam, they gave this quotation. And this quotation was said by Abdul Kalam G during his European Parliament visit. When he was there attending the European Parliament, he said this. Okay, so this quotation was said there and got applauded by everyone. So this quotation was picked up, and then UPSC asked this as a question. And when you read this quotation, only you know about this. And definitely, when you have already prepared about Abdul Kalam, definitely this quotation you would have read. When we are preparing year-wise class, based on year-wise classification, already I told about Gandhiji. When you are preparing, the most famous quotation given by Gandhiji, you would have definitely read and prepared separately, wrote it in your note. Same way, when you're preparing about Mr. Abdul Kalam, this quotation you never skip, because this is a very famous quotation which appeared which he said during the European Parliament meet, and this appeared everywhere. Whenever you are reading about Abdul Kalam, this quotation will appear. So when you are already written this quotation and known the meaning of this quotation, you need not go and appear newly there. So definitely you would have given a best answer. And then again, if you see John Rawls' concept of social justice, this appeared in 2016. Okay, 2002, John Rawls died. So again, 50th year death anniversary of John Rawls. The social justice concept also 2016 is the 45th year, the year which he gave social justice. So 2016 became the 45th year. So like this question, and definitely would have prepared about John Rawls very nicely, and his concept of social justice, if you have known, then your 10 mark is secure. Again, there is a view that official secret act, this already we have seen. And why this, again, coming in the year-wise classification, because RTA topic, I already told them in 2019 is very, very important because and 2019-20 is the 15th year anniversary. So when we are saying, we told that RTA is a very important topic, definitely prepare, no, all round you have to prepare about this RTA. You have to know everything about RTA, whatever things which coming in the newspaper, you have to be very much conscious about it. Definitely our students have done it very well. 2019, okay, and this question appeared, and even in case study also this was followed at Edward Snowden, because this Snowden issue appeared in 2013. The Snowden has leaked some, he's a CIA administrator and some released some government information outside, and he ran for his life, and it happened in 2013. Then why this came in 2018? Why this appeared as question? Because that Guardian, there is a newspaper called Guardian, and what they did in 2013 when this news appeared, they covered this news for Snowden, and again in 2018 this appeared in Guardian newspaper. Again the Snowden issue came. They said we are remembering the 50th year. They themselves has said the topic was like this. Headline was like this: the 50th year. Remember this is the 50th year. We are remembering Edward Snowden, who ran for his life because he has leaked out some government information and all. Again, the news covered by them. News appeared. Again, they interviewed Snowden, and news started appearing in the news. So it's the 50th year. So it came as a case study for you people. Not in between. They did not give in 2016. They did not ask this question in 2017. Again, because of the anniversary celebration of the coverage of the Guardian newspaper of this Snowden issue, it's appeared in 2018. Okay. So now with this, we are completing the strategy. As we have already discussed, I already told that several things which you have to keep in your mind. First thing which you have to keep in your mind when you are starting to prepare for your examination is the old question paper as the syllabus, whatever subject, it doesn't matter at all. It might be your optional subject also. It might be a essay paper also. First thing which you have to keep in your mind is the question paper, old question paper. You just carry with you. It doesn't going to cost anything for you, right? Just a papers, mere a set of papers, that's it. And then second thing is that syllabus. Syllabus has to be in your mind. Starting paper 1 to paper 4 of your GS papers and your optional papers, especially your optional papers, please write it down, your syllabus. Even though you have in your hand, write each and every topic, study, read it, paste it in front of your eyes. You read again and again. So you definitely will never forget about it. Remember each and every topic which is there in each and every, under each and every unit. Then only it helps in two ways. One thing is, I already told, in examination, after you get your examination paper, that is exam paper, question paper, you are able to identify your question. That is the first important step which you have to do as an IAS aspirant. You have to identify from which topic this question comes, what I have to, then only you will know what you have to answer for that question. Then what are the keywords you have to apply for that question? This and all you will come to know after that only. Then only you can frame a flowchart in your mind. Okay. Second thing is that by reading this whole question paper again and again, something that repeats. And syllabus, with the help of syllabus, you are able to properly read your newspaper. Unnecessary portion you have to avoid. What are the things which is essential for you? What are the topics which is comes in your paper, mains paper, and your optional paper? That you have to give importance. You have to cut that paper or paste it in a separate note, or you have to take and write the important highlighting points in your note which you keep yourself with yourselves. Okay, so this is up to you. The way you do it, that's your choice, but you have to do it. Whatever way you do it, it doesn't matter, but you try to do it. And another thing is that newspaper classes, I doesn't know about it very well. The thing what they do is that they just read all the newses here and there randomly, but know how many things you will remember in your mind. N number of things you just go and see every day. So how you will remember all these things? So then with this we are ending the strategy. So you remember one thing is syllabus and subject knowledge should Yeah, teleological applied ethics, I'll definitely, Arindam, I'll definitely do it. What we'll do is that once we get into the subject, you keep these words in your mind. Huh? You know, now you know what is teleological and what is applied and all. You know some new words you have learned. So you keep this in mind. Once you enter into the subject, I will elaborately discuss about it. I'll make you understand. Don't worry at all. Okay. So now, second thing is that old question paper should be there with you always. It helps you in two ways. One, pattern and recognizing. Second thing is to repetitive questions appear, so you can easily answer all these things. Third thing is the year-wise classification, which you should not forget at all. It helps you in most of the papers. Uh, Shaista. So she said that she joined in September. How should she start up with all these? No worries at all. See, what time you're starting doesn't matter. Whether you get the proper guidance matters much. Today onwards you start. That's more than enough. To start, automatically everything will fall into place, and we'll move because here that's why since morning I was very tense. My laptop is not getting charged, so I'll be talking. I'll moving to the next place. No worries, you can be online. Okay. A year-wise classification. Your sir has also told to you, right? How you have to do a year-wise classification and all. 1 minute, be online only. Yes. So we have reached. Okay. So how you have to do this? The year-wise classification. This helps you. Ethics, it helps you. But in the other subjects like governance, like your preliminary paper, it helps you a lot. What you have to do is that you have to prepare a chart like starting from 5th year celebration, 10th year celebration, 15th year celebration, 20th, 25th, then 50th, 100, 150, like this. Some event might have happened in history, especially if you are attempting history questions in preliminary paper or your optional paper. Some event might have taken place 100 years before. Okay, some event might have taken place 150, 200 years before might have taken place. So you have to note that. Suppose this is 2020, 5 years before 2015. Some policies, schemes might have been introduced by government in 2015. Now this is the 50th year celebration for that scheme or policy. Or some body might have been formed. Arindam, I'm saying that only. So some policies might have been formed. Okay, like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is a scheme. Same way, some schemes. So same way, there are some bodies also. Some like yes. So National Disaster Response Force, like this, some bodies are there, na? So CBA, CVA. So they are also celebrating the year wise. Some 50th year has got over after this body has been formed. NDA, like a National Tiger Force. Okay. Like this bodies are celebrating some 50 years, some schemes in order environment, again in environment, some schemes in order to save the crocodiles, save the dolphins, like this. Some years might have got over 10th year this after introducing Project Leopard, 10th year 2019. Same way, some animal might have been announced as a national aquatic animal. Again 10th year got over 2019, that question appeared. So this year-wise classification, this is called year-wise classification. 5, 10, 15, 20. Some event or some event might have taken place. Some policies, some body might have been formed. Some act has been passed out. That you have to note. Okay, then you have to write the features and all, and you have to put a separate chart and you have to write about all the detail. 360-degree coverage of that particular topic has to be done. In any angle the question appears, you should be ready, because already the question may appear from this section. So so you have to prepare 360-degree, whatever how the UPSC will think. For that only I told old UPSC, which pattern the question appears. In that pattern you try to analyze that particular topic. Now that is why this old question paper helps you in that cases. Okay, which pattern the UPSC is asking question helps you. So you take the year wise, that event particularly, then you try to analyze that particular event based on the question paper pattern. and then you try to sort it out. You write about the details about that particular event, and then this will help you to stand edge over others. No, you are already ahead of others. So this is called year-wise classification. Same way like 50th year, 100th year, this and all helps in your history paper. And even paper 2 also it helps you. Even your optional papers also it helps you. And again, sir might have done this elaborately for you. You can also ask him. If you have any other doubt, you can also ask him. 1 minute. Battery is very low. Okay. Okay. Fine. We'll go carry on. Which year anniversary? That's why we told you, like 5, 10, 15. Start from 5, 10, 15, 50 year, 10th year, 15th year, 20th year, 25th year. Now 5, 5, 5, 5. They're skipping from 5, 5. Previously 50, 50, 50, but it was done like that. Now also it is there. So you cannot just skip it out. You have to cover both the angles. 50 year, 10th year, 15, 20. Again, starting from 50th, 100, 150th, 200. In history, especially history helps this. Okay. So try to do that. And last thing is that, so this is our strategies, and more thing we will say once when we go into the classes. I'll tell this and all. Sometimes I may say this is very important. This section is very important. Please take a note of it. Then you have to give extra effort for that topic. Okay. 30, 35, 40, 45. No, it's not like that. Yeah, sometimes it comes. Most probably 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. This is very important areas. Sometimes like 40th year, 45th year, it appears. Okay. Yes. So you just take the question paper, Rohit. If you want to understand very aptly, first you take the question paper in the hand, the old 5 years question paper of preliminary, read the questions. You'll definitely find the year-wise classification. Then they will also mention which year. Like no, you'll identify with year, which year anniversary this is celebrated. Then it might be some questions comes in 50th year, some question 5 years less, 45th year there will be question. Especially in history, if you take 50th year, 45th year will be their question. 100th year, 95th year question will be also be there in year-wise classification questions. You will definitely understand that. That's no your own effort. You have to do it. So easily you can recognize the pattern of the UPSC paper. Now what we will do, so with this the strategy ends here, and we will slowly extend the strategy in each and every classes also. Even some things we will be discussing casually, that also appears as question in the examination. So here I like to say a story for you, right? So because there is a thing, there is a saying that goes like this. With the story we will start the saying. Actually, there are two people who are traveling. You like to travel to a city, crossing a forest. So one is visually impaired, another one is physically impaired. They are both challengeable peoples, but they thought that they will definitely go and they don't need anyone's help. They started traveling. They have to cross the forest and then they have to reach the city. So after evening, that is night, after 6 o'clock, it will be very dark and they cannot walk in the forest. They have to cross before dawn. So they were traveling, they were walking. They were traveling means they don't have all big technologies and all during that period. Okay, so they were traveling by foot. So one is walking with stick, and the other person is, I already told he's visually challenged, so he's also walking. And in the journey, they tried to meet. They met each other. So they were talking, just communicating with each other. Then when they were discussing, they found out that one is not able to walk and the other one is not able to see. So they both of them told already it is late. No, afternoon. So now we are not able to, we are not even reached half of the forest, but we have to reach there no, before evening. So we have, before night, we have to be there. So please, we'll help each other and we'll move forward. And they agreed. So the one who is visually challenged, he took the other person who was physically challenged and put over his shoulders. And so then he told, brother, you show me the way, I will walk you out. They agreed, and they were talking and discussing. And when they were crossing the forest, they found that there is something very shining inside a tree.
bark. Inside the hole of a tree, there is something very glittering, very much glittering. And the person who was sitting in his shoulder has found it out. And he told that, brother, I think that there is something inside the tree bark. You just take me to that direction. I will just check it out. What is that? It is very much glittering. So he also agreed and he took him to that tree. And when he took near the tree, he found that it's a pot of gold coins was inside that hole. And he was very much astonished. And the moment he saw that, greedy comes in his mind. We humans are always greedy, na? Whatever we have, we want more, 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 more. It's not enough. I want more. And then when he saw that, his mind thought, why I have to give this coins to the one who is standing down? I am the one who saw that. So it belongs to me. First, initially he shouted, in excitement, he shouted, oh, gold coins, a pot of gold coins. Then he said to the one who is down, he said, I am the one who saw that. So I am the one who is the owner of this gold coins. The pot full belongs to me. Then the one who is down, who is carrying him in his shoulder, told him that, brother, you know very well that you are not able to reach this tree. Whatever you try, you will not be able to reach this tree. Without my effort, you will never be able to fetch that gold pot of gold coins. So this belongs to me only. Even though you have seen that, I am the one who is responsible to carry you there. So it belongs to me. The fight is like this. Then they agreed that, okay, so we are not intelligent people, so we are not able to deliver judgments. They discussed among themselves, and then they will go to the village head who is there, and we'll ask him. Okay, we'll ask for the judgment, and he will give the right answer. So they agreed and they went there. When they went and they saw a young person, young lad, a small boy who was there. He's not even an adolescent age. He is called as the village head. He's there sitting, and he is the one who is going to deliver the judgment. The moment they saw that, they both become very much sad. They felt that what this boy is going to tell, and we are aged than him. We are very big people, and we even cannot come to a settlement. And how come he will give some judgment for us? Okay, the moment they saw this boy, they came to a conclusion like this. The boy also understood that there is something wrong because he read the faces of these people, and he understood that there is something wrong in the people's mind. They're thinking something wrongly. So he said that, okay, chalo, you leave now. Again, I'll meet you tomorrow. Okay, my grandfather will come and give judgment for you. So they set the issue to the issue, and then they left. This is our problem. Okay, you ask your grandfather to come and give the judgment. We are leaving today. They were satisfied. Okay, chalo, fine. At least an old man is going to come. He will be very wise only. He will give a wise judgment. They left. And next day they came here. They saw a very old man walking with the help of a stick was sitting there with the white beard and bend, back. He was sitting like that, and he was saying, Beta, what is your problem? He was asking with a shaking voice. And then he said, yesterday only we told everything to your grandson. And he said, you will come and deliver the judgment for us. Again, we are repeating the problem. They told the problem to that old man. The old man heard everything very calmly, quietly. Then he said, as both of you told, this does not belong completely to one person. Both of you helped each other. Without your help, you cannot, without the person who is visually challenged, you cannot reach the tree top in order to fetch the gold coins. And he told to the visually challenged person, without the help of your brother, that's the other person, you cannot able to see that there is gold. You will never recognize it. So both of you helped each other. And because of this, you got a gold as a gift. This is a gift by nature. You got a pot of gold coins. Again, you're doing some wrong. You are not able to recognize that. So this belongs to both of you. You can share it halfly. Both of you have to equally distribute among yourself. As the way he explained things, they became very happy. And they said, see, old people are always wise. Whatever the old man tells is wise only. We are agreeing. Okay, we will definitely do it. Thank you for your good judgment and all. The moment the judgment is delivered and they accepted the judgment, the old man revealed his identity. Then they were very shocked to see that the same 14-year-old boy standing there, he threw the stick out and he was standing as a 14-year-old boy. He himself was there as an old man. So from this story, what you people understand? One thing you have to remember is that knowledge comes from anywhere. It doesn't matter that the person has to be that much experienced and old person only old person can be wise. It is not like that. Old persons are always wise. Yes, wiseness. Don't judge a book from its cover. Wiseness does not come from age. You people can be more wiser than me. Okay, even a young children can teach a bigger person, one who is there already. Okay, one who is wiser, one who is called wiser, can gain knowledge from the young students also. That is why I usually tell my students, I'm always happy to study from you people. I'm not here to teach you. Okay, that you have to understand. I'm here to help you, to guide you, to just clarify your path, just give you some guidance. That's it. Apart from that, you yourself are going to do your work in order to study. I'm just giving you some guidance only. That's why I used to say that even the parents should not always hold the children's hand and walk. They should guide them. You have to go in this path. Just go. You'll face some troubles, but this path is the best path for you, because although you have some troubles, at the end will be very happiest end for you. But the rest paths have a lot of troubles. Now it might be very happy for you to enter there. You might see you might see a beautiful garden. Okay, there in one door you might see a beautiful garden with a lot of roses, with a lot of flowers. In one door you might see a beautiful ocean. In one door you might see a desert. But what you see is not truth. You may enter any door, but the parents might help you choose the door. Okay, the parents helps you to choose the door, but you are the one who has to walk inside the door. The parents cannot accompany you, because they cannot tell that I am with you always, I will come with you everywhere. It's not the right opinion at all. Then how will you become an independent one? You all are born as an independent person. We have to live independently. We have to face everything independently, not dependent on anyone. But there are some people who can guide us. That is why our guru are there. The guru is there in order to guide us. Okay, they cannot walk with us. They will guide us. And same way, don't judge a book by its cover. That is why I told you, you may think this teacher is very young. What this teacher is going to tell me? There are a lot of students like that. Initially, when I was there, it's 2013. Think of 2013. When I went to teach in 2013, they even mock in front of me, They say, what this, I thought this lady, she's going to teach. Oh my God. And some students even walked out in front of me. Okay, so this is how they judge by the appearance. But once the question paper appears, the examination, even in that year when I was teaching in 2015 environmental question, out of 10 question, 9 question was from my class notes. 10 question came into 2015 examination and 9 question was from my notes. Nowhere it was in the market. Nobody was able to, in all sort of questions they attempted, all sort of model exams they went. But one who followed my notes probably cleared all the 9 questions, and that was the edge for them that year in order to clear the preliminary paper. Yes, very good, very good. Yeah, very nice. See, so this is a thing, the people try to make judgment. Please don't do that. Second thing is that sharing, that is the one you understand from that story. Sharing, that is like how one help the other person, like hell and heaven story, how your sir might have definitely told that to you. I think you heard about that heaven story, right? Yes, so sharing is very much essential in this field, especially in this field. I have seen a lot of people through the experience of my husband and through the experience of me, myself. I've seen a lot of people there as a group. In that group, even if one person does not clear, all the others, even though they went into the service, they try to help the other person who is there lagging behind and try to pull him up. So I have seen this with my own eyes. So the group is very much essential. The group is very much required in order to sail the sea, vast sea of UPSC. And sharing is very much important, as how we told that part of gold coins is shared. So it's the effort of both of us, not only us, both of everyone. A group and me and everyone, every other teachers are there. So they are also putting their best in order to make you the best. Okay, so this is how we have to work in the forthcoming classes. So if you do have any doubt, you have to clarify. And another one thing is the teacher doesn't know everything. You have to keep this in mind. Not because we are not, what we know is only a bit. There is a ocean yet to cover. So I never get humiliated, even if I doesn't know in classes. I definitely openly, frankly accept I doesn't know. As you, I also expect the same from you. If I ask something you doesn't know, that's openly say. This is my habit from even a childhood days. I used to say to my teacher, I don't know. I never, even in interview, it's most warmingly accepted if you say I don't know, because you are very truthful. Don't try to cover it up that you doesn't know something. You never try to cover it up unless until you are able, you are very efficient in it. There are some people very efficient to cover it up. They know, but from that the question shoots out. The second question, third question, they easily identify that you are covering it up without knowing you're doing telling something nonsense. So they try to shoot questions from that. So be frank and open, and if I doesn't know also, I'll try to read it, verify that for you, and I again I'll present it to you. So don't ever hesitate, and don't even think that everything has to be known by me. Everything has to be known by, don't think that to yourself. Okay, if I'm going to exam, I have to know everything, then only I can appear in the exam. This is a very false strategy. Don't think that nobody can know everything unless until you work smartly. This is just a competitive exam. Just you blow like a blowing a candle, you have to blow it out. How you can do it? Only doing smart strategies. Don't do hard work. We are not bull or oxen pulling everything like a cart. We can pull everything: history, geography, environment, economy, okay, polity. What else is there? I have seen students like this. Preliminary paper na, okay, what are the subjects? History, geography, polity is there. Economy, oh, what, I forget about that. IR also is nowadays coming na, come on, take that. Environment, all subjects put inside the cart, put inside your shoulder, pull. What is the use? How many questions? What is the cutoff? Merely, what is the cutoff will be around 90 to 100. 90 to 100, most maximum if it goes 105. Maximum you keep 110. 90 to 110. This you have to cover. What subject I have to take inside? Polity. I am interested. Polity I like. Polity I know. Okay, take polity. History, I'm very interested in history. Some students say, okay, history. How many questions are going to appear from history? Nearly 15 to 20 questions, 15 to 20 questions in polity. Okay, economy. Okay, again, economy. Okay, so, madam, I doesn't like polity or history. I like economy. Okay, economy, geography. Any two subjects, any three, maximum three subjects. If you are ready, automatically with the current updates, definitely you will be able to clear the prelims. Why you are going to take all the burden inside the shoulders? Is there going to give any award or trophy for you? You are going to score maximum marks in prelims. Oh, this student has gained 110 marks in prelims. Come on, give him a big applause. Give him a big trophy. Nothing. Nothing is going to happen. It's just an entry pass for you, entry ticket. Even if you have click the borderline, even if you have just touch the borderline, you're entering into mains. Just to pass, we'll call in schools and all. The student has the second just to pass. Just to pass is enough. Why you are going and putting that much effort and burden inside your head? Put all those effort for mains, because mains mark is important to decide your cadre. Interview, just as your sir already might have told, just to go visit them, see how all these people are sitting there. You tell them one day I am going to sit there. Put that in your mind and walk inside. Okay, today I am carrying this file. I'm going and sitting in front of them. Next, the future, I will be sitting there. Another one young lad will walk inside like this in order to meet, in order to be interviewed by me. This is the thing which you have to keep in your mind. Be bold as a lion, walk inside. Just attempt the interview. Okay, just it's like a piece of cake for you. Just go, sit, say hi, bye. If you don't know, just say, don't know, I don't know. And interview also, there are some year-wise classification you can do. And if you are working on your bio, you can easily go and attempt some few questions which they ask. If you don't know, just frankly say, I don't know. So I already told, every human cannot be like a computer. Huh? You're not a computer. If they say some word, oh, such. Okay, Google, come on. You cannot do that. You're just a human. No? How will you do that in front of the interviewers? Be open and frank and casual and cool. And they also lure you, helping and luring you. They lure you with the help of some questions. They tell some questions in order to make you emotionally imbalanced. I already told emotionally imbalanced is the one which they try to check in interview, whether you're emotionally balanced or not, emotionally stable or not. Some questions comes in that manner only for you. That is why interview is there, not to check your knowledge. IQ has already been checked in 2 exams. You have passed the exams. Now comes your EQ checking. That is through interview. That is why I already told personality development, which people are doing here in Chennai. We are doing that. Personality development is a separate course we are doing for every students. And that is college students, because they are very much needed for that. So we are doing it. They are now very much, we are seeing a gradual change in the students' mentality after they have undergone the course, because the psychologists are coming and reviewing it. The psychologists who are doing clinical psychology, they come and check and they give a card for the student. Previously, before the session, how these people are there, and after the session, how the people are there. This is very much required. Emotional stability is required in order to face the interview and all. Same way, it is also required in a preliminary paper and mains paper in order to secure maximum marks. That's why they used to say in school also, if you have noticed very well, one who is always securing first rank in all the examination, when he comes in the last, that is the main examination of 10th standard or 12th standard, they become the school 5th or school 6th. One who was securing 3rd or 4th rank, or might be in the 15th rank, but they will secure first rank in the in school first rank. They will secure school first rank when they are appearing for the 10th exam or 12th examination. How this happens? How this happens? Emotional balance. The person, if you have checked this person, I already know one of my friend who was when I was studying in the school, she used to secure 20th rank out of 80 students in our class. 80 students. The strength is very big in our class. 80 students, and she's secured 20th rank or 15th rank, 15 to 20. Always she used to take. 9th standard, even she became a friend of mine, and in 10th standard also I have noticed it. In most of the exams she used to stand in 15th only, but whenever I used to talk to her, she used to be very cool, very cool. I've never seen a personality like that at all. I even wondered about her. How you are this much cool and you never get tensed at all. You are not ever nervous. I never seen you nervous at all. How is this possible? I don't know. I hope so. She might have taken some courses or something, but she's very cool, very calm. Whatever happens, she doesn't care at all. She doesn't even care. She never cared about anything. Whatever they say, she never cared. Even somebody saying that, oh, see this question, I have left this question because of this. I lose mark. When receiving papers also, she usually casually receives the paper, comes and say. Then I used to say, I usually know that I'll get this mark. She used to say this. But she's a school topper in 10th standard. She's a school topper. No, because all those who are ahead of her was very tensed. She studied very gradually, slowly, casually. She waited for that big event. In that big event, she performed. She doesn't want to show to everyone that see, I am also a big one. See, I am also very intellectual person. I know I can also secure first rank. She never showed it outside. She kept herself cool and waited for that big event. I'm also saying this to you because you people have to wait for the big event. It doesn't matter how you're performing here. Even now, I have experienced one of my student like that in UPSC. She always come and sit quietly in classes. She never ever opened her mouth. I never seen her opening her mouth at all. Unless until I ask some question, yes, madam, no, madam, that's it. I even thought whether this lad is getting whatever I'm saying, whether she can understand it or not. Why she is sitting? I have suspicious about her language choosing. I thought she might be from Hindi background or something. I'm talking English and I'm also talking speedily. So she is not able to receive it, but she cannot say it openly. That is why she is very much no introverted and she's sitting inside without even speaking to me and all. And if I ask some questions, he used to say, yes, madam, I understand. Yes, that's it. I never even seen her answering a single question. Even if I ask some post some question publicly, she never answered. But first attempt, she cleared prelims, she cleared mains, she cleared interview. She's an IAS officer. I was wondering, how can a person be like this? So don't get distracted and deviated by the surrounding, our environment, not only the persons I'm saying. So automatically it happens. In this age, you get deviate and distract. No, deviations coming from any angle, any form, any way it comes in this age. Especially if you are a boy from a girl, from a girl from a boy, it happens. It's nature. It's nature. You cannot say anything. We cannot act against nature, right? It's naturally it happens like this. But environment also. Environment also helps us to deviate. So you have to suppress everything, overcome all these things. For that, you have to keep yourself in a balanced manner. Okay, that is why they used to say meditation. Meditation, what that teaches to you? Meditation, what it teaches to you? How many of you are doing meditation? Come on, tell me. If you're, let me know how many of you are practicing this good practice, meditation. Then we'll move to our classes today. Good. Okay, Bharatwaji is doing. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, few people are saying that they are doing it. Some are trying to do. Some are not doing it. Very good, very good. See, you have to. Don't think that I am a proponent of this meditation and all, but I am asking you, I'm propagating this idea. Don't ever think like that. It's very nice one. You have to try it if you're not doing it. If you're doing it, do it in your best level. Try to meditate. Try this increases your concentration level. This keeps you balanced. You will not get deviated no matter what. You will never get deviated. Even though you try to get deviated, your mind will speak to you. Okay, so you will keep yourself in a balanced manner. You will be quiet and calm, and everything will fall in your hand. That's what I like to say here. So with this, we'll move into our subject. So today we will start our subject. Balanced state. Yes, yes. That's why I said balanced state. That's why I told you balanced. Okay, like a sadhu. What we say in a monk. Monks are always meditating. Opening their eyes, they are meditating. We people are not to their level. We cannot do it. We can meditate. We can spend some time for meditation. This helps us to focus. Yes. Instead of that, I used to focus on work at the time, and I think that is more than meditation. Yeah, focusing. That is why I told Abhishek, focus. You're focusing in some work. That is very, 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 very nice. That's why I also told about monk. For monk, work is a meditation. Strategy. I'll definitely. I'll do one thing. I'll share this PPT also. You can have it. No problem. Okay. Right. So don't worry. I'll forward this PPT once class gets over. I'll forward it. So focusing is important. Either you do it in the meditation format, either you are concentrating in work. But Abhishek, I like to tell you one more thing. Even though you are very much concentrated towards your work, it is also equivalent to meditation. But meditation is something more than that. You will understand once you start to practice. That also not every time. So if you go, some people will say anytime you will sit for meditation, but you will not gain that control to yourself. Early morning is a very good timing for your meditation. Try to practice. Try to slowly practice. Don't ever force yourself. Oh, I have to do. Then you will not able to do it. Do it. No, just casually, calmly, quietly sit and observe your nature, your surroundings. Automatically, you start to meditate. 5 minutes one day, then 10 minutes. Slowly increase to 15 minutes. Yes. Yes, before bedtime, particularly before bedtime, it's good, and early morning, it's very good. Sunrise, even studies are also. It's called Brahma Muhurt. Brahma Muhurt means this is the time it's where the Lord creates life. At the same time, it's very peaceful and very quiet. At this time, if you're trying to study, at this time, if you're trying to concentrate on some things, at this time, if you're trying to focus, it's very good. Okay, so try to start practicing this and definitely you'll see the changes. Now, what we will do, we'll go into topics. We'll go into our unit. So I'll share a whiteboard. அதுவாகவே க்ளோஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு. வெயிட் ஓரி இங்க இருக்கு ஷேர் இதுவா ஷேரிங் ஒயிட் போர்டா அவங்களே எடுத்துட்டாங்க போல. ஓகே okay fine. Okay, whiteboard is here. So what we'll do is start our classes. Okay, done. So we will first we'll try to define ethics. One minute, I'm just trying to reduce the size of the pen. Size of the pen where? Okay, leave it. So you can hear me, right? Okay. It's marker, yeah, it's marker. I'm just looking for pen. Pencil, okay, let me try pencil then. Okay, good. Okay, good. Fine, now we understood. Pencil tool is here. Okay, fine. Now we'll do. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. Fine. So today we will define, first of all, we'll try to define ethics. Then we will go into all the rest of the topic. For defining ethics, see, actually, I'll discuss today. I'll discuss here. Then I will try to share the PD and children. I hope some students has volunteered that they are taking notes, running notes also. Please share it with your friends in the Telegram channel. Okay. So today we will start our definition. For defining ethics, I'm going to take two types of cases. One is related to abortion. Another one is related to stealing. So one is related to abortion, another one. So again, ethics is full of cases, So I'll be discussing the portions with the help of cases only. Abortion, and the other one is related to stealing. So we, what we will do first, we will discuss relating to abortions. Okay. It's doing something, different operations are automatically being done, carried out. I don't know. I am not able to use this, but I'll try. So what we'll do is first, we'll take the abortion cases. As you all know, abortion in India. So what are the rules which are supporting these abortions? What are the regulations which are there? And whenever we are talking about this abortion, automatically what comes in our mind is related to the, sex selective abortions only. Because nowadays there are a lot of schemes like Ludley and all the state governments also introducing a lot of schemes then related to female infanticide, that we have to save girl children, save girl child, right? So putting some money in the account and all. So this and all is happening, and automatically when we are talking about abortions, what comes in our mind is about the sex selective abortion. I'll rub this and okay. So you see, sex selective abortions. I don't know why this is becoming blue and started moving. Yeah, I can dictate. This just, it's not dictation. I'm just discussing. For discussion, I need some whiteboard. Seema, that's why I'm using this. And so the tool is very much uncomfortable for me. Zoom previously, the last batch was using Zoom and it's very easy to handle it, but it's okay, quite, it takes some time. Fine. So sex select, yes. Yeah. So sex selective abortions, good. Right. Now see here, apart from this, what are the other problems which is always connected with this abortion cases and all? If you see, most thing which we does not know is repeatedly induced abortions. I think I'll take, try to do with the typing. Okay. Then if something, wherever necessary, I will use a marker. So, repeatedly induced abortions. We are always talking about repeatedly induced abortions also. So, what is this? Here, it's a problem which is faced by the married women because they are not allowed to use contraceptions. And again, they are getting, conceived and again they have to abort. So, repeatedly induced abortion. This is going to affect the health of the mother, automatically the lady, the women. So, this is also there. When we are talking about abortion, this also comes into your mind. And try use notebook and focus the camera on it. Okay, I'll try to do, but I'll check with the sir one time tomorrow, and then if I'm comfortable with that, I'll do it. Okay. So repeatedly induced abortions. Then again, we are also heard a lot about the abortions carried out by the unmarried girls. So what happens automatically? These people are very much humiliated, shy, feel shy that they doesn't know properly. They don't have any knowledge about this abortion laws in India and all. And what they feel is that they get humiliated. They think that if they go and then ask the doctor and the medical practitioner, then what happened? They will feel wrong about these people, and then they try to go to illegal abortions, where the abortions are taking, where they don't have proper license to do abortions, but they perform abortions, and it leads to death of the girl. Okay, automatically this happens everywhere. So when we are speaking about abortion, again, it's like a social evil only. So for this, we will discuss a lot of cases, and we will also draw the tabular column, and then we will try to define ethics from this example. Same way, I'll give another example related to steering also. So if you see, particularly, I'll discuss first one case related to abortion about Niketa Mehta case. This is a popular cases. These are popular cases which I'm taking as a case study for you. Niketa Mehta case. You see, this Niketa Mehta case. Okay. So what happened? This is otherwise called as Bombay. That is Mumbai High case. Otherwise called as Mumbai High Court case. They are Bayandar couple. Niketa Mehta is a woman. She got pregnant, and she is in her 24th week of her pregnancy. When she was asking for termination, she is in her 24th week of pregnancy. So she want to abort her child because, yeah, which spelling? Palash? Which spelling? So I have written here abortions. Oh my. Okay, fine. Abortion. Because I have not there it has not been. I'm using the pen and it's not writing properly. Now that's so abortion. Right. So Nikita Mehta case. They are popularly called as Bayandar couples cases or Mumbai High Court case. And my question to you is that if you want, you can take notes. I'm going slowly only. I'm going very slowly. These are all cases. So if somebody has taken notes, they will forward for you, or else you also try to write notes on your own. It will be interesting for you now when you take running notes. So my question to you is that is abortion legal in India? Is abortion legal in India? No, yes, yes, no, legal, no, yes. In some cases, good, 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 good. Okay, so we are getting so many answers. Actually, abortion is legal in India under certain conditions. 6 weeks, my God, 6 weeks. Very long, na? 6 weeks, very short, huh? 6 weeks. 1.5 months, you're saying. Okay, abortion is legal. Yes, yes, yes. Kajal Gupta, up to 20 weeks if recommended. Very good. Actually, there are certain conditions, but according to MRTP Act, you can mention the Act, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. This is that Act. Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, 1971. According to this Act, Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, 1971. See, as a woman, you all have, I'll talk about that also, Anchal. Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, 1971. According to this Act, okay, 20 weeks, up to 20 weeks, 20 weeks is permitted. Nobody can question you. Up to 20 weeks, 20 weeks, you can terminate the pregnancy. Actually, Anchal, I have to ask you a question. Yes, yes, 24 weeks. 24 weeks was proposed. I doesn't know whether it has been passed and made it. Previously, I was referring and it was said that up to 20 weeks only, it was pending. Actually, amendment to the MRTP Act 2020, has it been passed? Children, tell me. MRTP amendment, I'm writing in short form. Amendment Act 2020. Has it been passed? Yes, tell me, please enlighten me about it. According to that amendment, they propose that this 20 weeks has to be raised, the slab has to be raised to 24 weeks. And there are also certain other things which they changed. So previously 1971, has it been passed? It is proposed up to 24 weeks. Come on, answer my question. Some other past. Okay, past. Uh-huh. Cub. It's not visible. Is it visible or not? No. The board is not visible. What happened? Three words are visible. Okay, this is not visible then. Is it visible now? Mm-hmm. What is the problem? We'll try with this only because text is not working. So I want a management people to technical people, please help solve this problem. Because yeah, career launch, please. See I cannot write properly in the board. Yeah, now what I write is appearing, and what I am typing is not appearing in the board. What's the problem with the board? I think Zoom will be better, right? Because here there's a lot of problem in writing, and it's create a lot of disturbance in the classes. And once disturbed, now we are not able to be in a flow. They are giving our lectures. Is there anything as whiteboard or something that we can check? Is it visible? Is it visible now? No. A few people is yes, for few no. Is it visible? See, I'm typing abortions. Is it visible for you? Is it going good? You can see what I'm writing in the whiteboard. Only is it is okay. It is visible. Now abortions is visible. Okay, okay. So I have to do this. Now it is slow, like I guess. Okay, it's also visible. Abortion is also visible now. Okay, I have understood something. Let me try that. See, first I'll write the act, medical termination. I think now you can see of Pregnancy Act 1971. Can you see this? Can you see this? Can you see now? Okay. So now it is visible now. I have to make it blue. I don't know what is the process or procedure. I think please management give me Zoom. No, follow-up classes for the next classes. Please give us Zoom because this is taking much time of us, and no, we are disturbed in between the classes. Please take care of that. And okay, today we'll adjust with this. So Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, which was passed in 1971. And you know about Niketa Methanol we have written. So this act helps. It gives legal back to abortion. Legal backing, we say, is a term which we use in politically. Legal backing to abortion. This is the act which gives that under 4 conditions. Yeah, might be color while writing will be no. It is black or a brown color something. That is why colors are perfect, but it's not visible to you people. So now it is visible, right? Now it is visible, right? So I am making it blue or something. I am highlighting it again, then it is appearing for you all. There is something which is hindrance. So fine. So now we'll proceed. Yes, yes. Actually, MRTP Act 1971 says and up to 20 weeks only. Delay, actually delay agla.